You are about to listen to a Jason Burgos exclusive interview.
Good. How about yourself?
I'm good. So do you prefer Anthony or do you prefer Rocco?
Let's go with Rocco.
All right, fine by me. So thanks for the time. Much appreciated. My first question is, I wanted to talk about the Jake Matthews fight. For a fight like that, when you are fighting a guy in his home country and the promotion rarely goes there, is it a wild situation? I mean, have you ever been in a situation where you were so strongly placed as the enemy of an arena? And what does that do for adrenaline? And what do you do to keep yourself like level-headed and not get crazy?
Well, I fought twice in Rio, actually, versus two Brazilians. So I've been in hostile territory. But, now I just feel, obviously, I'm way better than I was at that moment. So I was very confident going in this time. And I kind of liked it. I liked when the crowd got loud and, they're getting after for their guy. I enjoyed it. I think it does hurt you a little bit on the judges' scorecards, I think, sometimes where, if there's anywhere – if a punch is even close to landing, the crowd's going crazy. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if the judges know if anything landed or what, but it was an awesome experience. I loved it. I had a great time, and I'd do it again if they offered it.
Did you feel a difference between the Australian and the Brazilian crowd? Is one louder than the other, or are they fairly similar?
They're similar, but the Brazilian crowd, they do their chants, whatever chant it is, pretty much saying kill you. And so that's a little different. But no, it was the arena there in Adelaide was a smaller one, but which made it seem a little bit louder, which I liked a lot. Mm-hmm. And it was great. I thought it was they're very similar.
And since you mentioned that, there's always that danger if you go to scorecards in a situation like that not being your favorite. Does it affect your strategy, or do you have to avoid not feeling a pressure to try to get a finish to avoid that, or do you just have to trust in yourself, trust in what you're doing, and let the fight play out as it is?
No, I mean that's just something that I've learned, through my career, that you just have to fight your fight. I can't force anything. When you start trying to force it, that's when you're going to get in trouble, make mistakes. So I'm always looking for a finish. I'm always trying for a finish, but I can't go after. I thought I won the second round of the fight, and a lot of the journalists that I saw that were reporting on it thought I won the second round, but all three judges gave it to him. So they showed the scorecards after the fight. So if they're doing a decision, I lost that fight. But it didn't go to decision. I finished. So I'm just going to try to finish every fight. That's always the easiest, is to avoid the scorecards, and then there's no controversy.
Did the fight play out like you expected? Did he do anything that surprised you at all?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was a little bit harder to hit than I anticipated going in. I thought I'd be able to land my jab a little bit more when he would jump in, and he just came in so reckless where his head was off center, and it was kind of hard to figure out my timing. And but after that, everything kind of played out like we thought. I thought the calf kicks would land. I thought I'd start wearing on him, in the later rounds. I feel like most of these guys that first round's gonna be pretty close, and then I'm starting to take over. So that's kind of from here going forward, is that I'm not gonna go 100 in that first round. I'm gonna fill it out and wear on them, take what I can take, and then second, third rounds when I'm going to start putting pressure on them and seeing if they can hold up.
Now, walk me through what led the grappling aspects of what led to that Anaconda Choke, and when you have that grip on, when do you know, like it's really sunk in and he's going to sleep like he did? He fully was out.
Well, in that instance, actually, I didn't know if it was fully on because of he wasn't resisting. Like most people kind of resist it right away when you put it in, you can feel them. And then when you feel like when it starts to tighten up, they start to scramble a little bit more. But he just wasn't moving. So I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know for sure if I was fully choked in. But, my front head chokes are some of my best, are definitely my best chokes. So I work every day with front head. Obviously my Kimura is really good. And so there's these few submissions that I have that I feel at a very, very high level, and those were in the front head is definitely one of those into the Anaconda.
Do you? I mean, because he's got a good grappling game as well. Do you feel he didn't do the normal of you as you would expect in terms of resistance? Maybe because he trusted in his grappling too much. Did he just kind of sit and get a little too comfortable, and maybe didn't fully understand and respect your grappling skills, and maybe underestimated you a little bit?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, from what I looked at when I'm watching on the film and stuff, is that I heard him with that leg, the calf kick, and he dove in. And I think that he might have just thought he was safe there because he just kind of seemed like he was trying to stay flat and flatten out.
Right.
And I think that he thought that he would just fight through the choke like that. But I have these, long arms that slide in there, and I got a pretty good squeeze. So it was nice to put him to sleep. And, like I said, there was no controversy at all, and that's always a big way to go into someone else's hometown and take them out.
Now you got the big submission against Matthews. You had the KO against LaFleur. With back-to-back impressive finishes like that, do you feel as a fighter, does it put like the division on notice that you've always been known for your grappling, but you're also dangerous on the stand-up too? Does it put the division on notice that you are a threat anywhere, and maybe lets people know?
I hope they keep sleeping on my striking, because that's going to be the best case scenario for me. Just have them keep sleeping on my striking, think I'm a grappler. I want them to, say, oh, they're fighting Tony, they're fighting a grappler. Because every time I'm going to come out there, and you can go watch all my last fights, and I'm hurting these guys on the feet. So I hope that they just think I'm a grappler still. But I'm going to keep working every day. I'm trying to be the best fighter in the world, and that's going to have to come in every aspect. I'm not the best grappler. I'm not the best striker. Not the best wrestler. But I think right now at this moment, when you put it all in there, I'm a top level fighter, and I think I can compete with any of these guys in the world.
Now, after a 2-fight losing streak to start your UFC career, you've gone on a 7-2 run, 6-1 since 2016. Just the one split decision loss to Aubin Mercier. Did anything at all change for you in the last few years? That you've really got on fire. Was there a growth? Was there like a new level of MMA maturity? Something clicked differently? Different coaches? Has anything changed at all?
I mean, obviously now that I've been down at American Top Team since I moved up to 170, it's been huge. You train with the best guys in the world. I have the best coaches in the world behind me. I still have, my head coach from Brock comes up. And it's just one of those things where it just took time, where I didn't know exactly who I was as a fighter yet. I was trying to figure out myself. I came in the UFC so soon. Like you said, I started 0-2, started 1-3, and that's a terrible way to start in the UFC. Most people don't have a job after that. And then the UFC is already looking on you like, this guy's got nothing, or at least, okay, we see something, but he's really, he's not going to be a contender. So now, like I said, I've been on a tear, and I feel like people have been on a tear like this, they'd be, if I would have came in the UFC right before I fought Nakamura, went on this 3-fight spree, they'd be promoting me like crazy. They'd be one of those guys that's coming in, and they're going to try to sell him as this next killer. But, I started off a rough start. But, like I said, I'm going to keep pounding these guys out, keep taking them out one by one until, I get my opportunity. And I think after this next fight, some big opportunities and big doors should open up.
Who are the set coaches that you work with at ATT, and are there any that you really credit specifically with really helping your game and getting you to that next level?
Yeah, Mike Brown, down here is my head coach, and he's been huge. He's just one of those guys that, he's not scared to ask other people for advice or ask them for their input, and he's just one of those guys that's always trying to learn. Steve Mako's been huge in helping me with my wrestling. That's one of our big things down here is that they want me to learn how to wrestle, wrestle. And so I've been working that a lot. This new coach, Anderson's, came out, about 2 camps ago before I knocked out Ryan LaFleur. He came out here, and he's been a phenomenal Muay Thai coach. And realistically, I just try to get everyone's knowledge. Anyone that wants to help me out, I'm willing to hear them out and see what sticks for me and what helps me. But those are my main coaches right now out here, and we work every day. And honestly, I think that with the team I have out here, that my climb is endless.
Now, for the Moraes fight, both of you like to grab limbs, submit people. Do you feel this is the type of fight where the grappling can cancel out and it becomes a stand-up war, especially because you're coming along and you like to stand up even more and you're hurting guys? Do you see the fight going that way, and could that be favorable for you?
I'm definitely going to try to keep the fight standing. I think he's going to want to take it down. He's a wild striker, though. He just throws anything and everything, and it's just kind of wild, and there's no real technique to it. And so I just got to play smart on the feet, pick my shots, and I plan on taking him out. I think that he'll start diving in and start trying to take me down. Obviously, he's like multiple-time world champ, so I think he's very confident in grappling anyone in the world. So I don't think he's going to think it's a canceling out, but I think my wrestling's better than his. I think that I have a high-level submission game, so if he definitely underestimates my submission game and just, dives in on weird stuff, that I could catch him as well. And I think I have a significant advantage on the feet. So I'm going to try to keep the fight on the feet, keep the fight standing, and make him start diving in.
Were you fine with this matchup, after the 2 impressive wins in a row, or were you kind of hoping more for a ranked opponent?
I definitely wanted a ranked opponent. You always want to start climbing the ladder and not have to fight ranked guys to just get your name out there, just because you feel like most of these ranked guys, it seems like, I don't know, they can lose 3 or 4 in a row and they're still ranked for some reason. And so it's hard the only way to get into the rankings is to beat the ranked guy. But they keep fighting themselves. But Sergio Moraes has to be the most quiet. I feel like the quietest 8-2-1 UFC record out there. I feel like that's a pretty darn good record for not the biggest name, obviously, in America. And so he's definitely a big name within the UFC. I think they know that he's a high-level fighter. I'll go out there and take him out. It's just, I think a ranked guy would, nothing else but a ranked guy would make sense. It just kind of be a detriment to my career if I take him out on a 4-fight win streak with 3 finishes to not fight a ranked guy. I think I earned it. And so now I'm just working like crazy to go out there and finish Sergio and get what's mine.
Now, you mentioned how there are fighters that are losing streak and stay ranked. Do you feel, based on what you've done, like I said, 6-1 since 2016, 2 impressive wins in a row, do you feel you should have been ranked at this point already?
I thought that it was a possibility. I think that Ryan LaFleur, he was just out of the rankings when I took him out. And then another, what's his name that I just took out? He
Jake
was,
Matthews,
Jake Matthews was on a tier as well. He was taking out these guys, and so he was getting close to being in the ranking system. So I thought that either one of those guys, could have possibly taken me out and been in the rankings. So I was just like, I think I'm definitely right there, though. I'm definitely top 20. And I think that if I take out Sergio, there's no reason why I shouldn't be ranked and why I shouldn't be fighting a ranked guy.
Like you mentioned, like the guys stay on there. Sergio should, probably be ranked 2. He's very good with his record. Do you feel there's and you'll see guys that get title shots and they're like ranked 4 or 5. Do you feel that like the UFC rankings flawed in weird ways and it almost holds too much weight sometimes?
Oh yeah, for sure. There's no real ranking system, and obviously there's no real path to the title. So it's kind of like one of those things where, it's almost like hitting the lotto. It seems like nowadays, where you can go on 7-fight win streaks and you're still not guaranteed nothing. So it's like one of those things where you can win an interim title now and still not have the next shot. So the whole system doesn't make sense. But all I can do is control what I can do. I'm going to go out there and smash Sergio and try to keep forcing their hands. It's one of those things where the UFC may not like you or may not want you around, but if you keep winning, they can't keep turning you away. That's just the way it is. That's just the nature of the sport. So I'm going to keep smashing these guys and handling my business and take full advantage of the opportunity that I have.
Now, final question. I appreciate your time today. Now, you are in a unique situation where you are part of the rare fighter couple. You've had a very good career so far in the UFC. girlfriend Kayla Harrison is becoming a massive prospect in the sport because of her Olympic background, what she's doing so far. When you are a part of a relationship with another fighter, does it help a lot in your own career in terms of, since they understand your struggle in terms of a diet and cutting weight, the training schedule, weight cutting, and needing a break after, just living the fighter life? Is it really helpful to have be with another fighter and understand what you're going through, and makes the process and camps that much easier?
Okay, so there's multiple aspects to this part. Right? So this one aspect is, right, they understand what you're going through. Mm-hmm. And it's like they know like the steps you're taking, how your body's feeling. They kind of understand, okay, you have days, like it's time for this. They understand when you're crowding and you're being an ass because, the weight cutter is going down. And it's like one of those things that it's great that they understand, but sometimes as well, right, you're both in camp at the same time. So that part's like, okay, that part's tough where who's supposed to be, because usually like me and Kayla, when she's in camp, I'm waking up early, cooking her breakfast, kind of handling the household stuff around the house so that she doesn't have to worry about that. She does the same for me when I'm in camp. But when we're both in camp, now it's like, okay, whose job is it to do all that? And then you're like, she's a little bit more early riser and I'm a later, but it's kind of like you both have your same regimen. So there's that aspect. Then there's also the aspect you're with each other 24/7 when you both do the same thing all the time. Okay, so that's the other aspect where it's like you don't have any alone time. You train at pretty much close to the same times. You're always at the house together. You're doing everything together where it's like eventually it's a little, when you're, I was also in a different relationship, obviously, where she had her own job. She did her own thing throughout the day, and really I only saw her a couple hours tops a day. And that's nice, and just the aspect of you're just not around each other 24/7, driving each other insane.
Yeah.
So there's so many different aspects, but I truly think it's great for me personally because Kayla, so that's the other thing, it might depend on who your couple is as well, but Kayla's insane. So she's crazy where, she's like, listen, she could be hurt after her fight or anything. Like, she's still training. Like, she doesn't take time off. It's not, she's always ready. Like, she's like, listen, if you're not training, you're soft. So she's like that. She needs to be the best at everything. Very competitive, where it's great because I'm very competitive as well. And so we're always playing board games, card games, and all these. So we're pretty much 24/7. People think we're insane because we'll be posting on Snapchat and all our coaches see us. Well, we're not even playing these games to have fun.
Yeah.
We're playing only to win because we don't think the game's fun at all. We just think winning's fun. So that part's, I think it's great. I think it's been great for both of us where, we're always we're always eyes on the prize and working to get better and working to be the best. And so I think 2019 is definitely our year. I think it's going to be a big year for both of us.
You guys, because I follow Kayla on Instagram, and I think also Puna mentioned it, you went on vacation, even go on vacation together. Is it, despite being with each other for so long, it's still a good thing where you can either even enjoy being away from the fight game on vacation? And how was your cruise?
Yeah, no, that was our first vacation that we've had outside of like traveling for, events or something, which it's technically work, but you're kind of sort of on vacation. But so it was good. I mean, like I said, though, sometimes it's overwhelming because you're with each other so much where you pretty much are like, when you're texting, they're pretty much wondering like who you texting, like why, because they're with you so often, right? Because they're just with you, like pretty much you're both texting the same people. So we're always in like these group texts together. Yeah. Because like all her friends have to be my friends, all my friends have to be her friends. So we're with each other so much that there is no separation. But that's the one thing we decided 2019 we're going to work on a little bit is finding time to be away from each other a little bit so we're not so attached in everything in life. But we went on a cruise. It was my first cruise. Awesome. Her first cruise as well. And it was great. It was relaxing. A little bit too much drinking, but it was
you earned it.
You just wake up.
Yeah,
it's just like one of those things where she had that long, multiple fights in a row. I just fought twice in a row, and then she fought. So it's been like it was like 6 fights back to back to back for both of us. And so we're just like, listen, we need to set this time aside and we talked to Ali, our manager, and he's just like, listen, I'm not going to book you guys anything. You guys go need to relax, okay? Because he knows that we're kind of nuts too, and we're always amped up and always hungry. So he's like, listen, I'm not booking you guys any fights. Go on vacation, get some relaxation, and then we'll get this all figured out once you guys get back. So it was great. I liked it. I thought it was a great mini vacation.